Goblin Barrel is something that you should never leave alone. If you leave a Goblin Barrel alone, it'll do hundreds of damage to your tower, and it's usually never worth it to leave a 3 elixir card to do that much damage onto your tower. It's equivalent to your arrows, and arrows doing 700 damage to your crown tower if you don't answer it. So it's much needed that you answer the Goblin Barrel. Goblin Barrel is one of the most interesting cards because you can place it anywhere on the map and it spawns units out of it. That's what makes it so unique. It can do so much damage if unprotected. The number one way people counter Goblin Barrel are spells, whether it be Zap, Arrows, Fireball, etc. Zap is one of the best ways to get rid of the Goblin Barrel because it one-shots them and you get a positive elixir trade by 1. If you fail to counter Goblin Barrel, you'll take around 500 to 800 damage, depending on your Goblin Barrel and your opponent's level, of course. Imagine if your opponent used a rocket and lightning spell on your tower. That's equivalent to how much damage a Goblin Barrel can do for 9 less elixir. That's 100% crazy. The barrel can be used to stop spawner decks, but be careful if they spawn right as your Goblin Barrel lands onto the spawner. If your opponent catches on to the fact that you may Goblin Barrel their spawners, they may place it in the middle so 2 of their arena towers can hit it instead of 1 if they placed it in the bottom corners. It's also effective to use a Goblin Barrel on an elixir collector, as it'll drain around 60 to 80% of its health depending on the card levels and the positioning that you place the Goblin Barrel. There are certain situations where you are desperate to counter the Goblin Barrel but don't have a valid card to counter it. In that case, you can use spells such as Freeze if you really need to, or you can go for something like the Skeleton Army, which will get rid of the Goblin Barrel without even landing a single hit, and they'll have to counter your Skeleton Army back at you. If you manage to bait out your opponent's only spell, you can go for a Goblin Barrel onto the tower. You can go for a Goblin Barrel Freeze, or you can go for a Goblin Barrel Rage, which will do massive damage, but this can also heavily backfire as you're wasting 7 elixir to go for this combo, and it can backfire if you are not prepared to defend it. Zap is the safest option that you can go for if your opponent baits out, if you bait out their opponent's Zap. It'll do extra damage for only 2 more elixir, and it's only a 5 elixir combo, which is a great combo if you use your opponent's Zap correctly. Hey, thank you guys so much for watching my video on how to use and counter Goblin Barrel. There's going to be a poll at the beginning of the video. It'll tell you guys what do you want to see next on my how to use and counter series. So yeah, go ahead and leave it in the comments and also answer the poll if you guys want to see what's going to happen for the next one. I want to see can we reach 35 likes on this video. If we can reach 35 likes, that would be really appreciated. And I'm planning on doing these how to use and how to counter series pretty common on this channel, along with arena strategies and all that stuff.